We are back with another edition of Cape Ann Today, and joining us is Val Gilman. She is the Ward 4 Councilor and City Council's Vice President. How are you, Val?
I'm terrific. How are you, Corey?
It's good to see you again. We haven't chatted in a while.
It's been a while, and I'm always glad to be here. Hi, Heather.
It's great to have you with us, Val. So Val, first of all, we want to congratulate the City of Gloucester on having these wonderful COVID numbers. Do you want to talk about that for a second?
Couldn't be more delighted. It's been a group partnership between the Mayor's Office, the Board of Health, all our nursing team here in Gloucester, and it's just been an incredible milestone for us. So we're very proud. We also just learned that according to Mass Health Department, that 71% of our residents here in Gloucester have had at least one vaccination. So we're trending really well, and we're very excited about that. So kudos to all that has done so much work, and we can still keep improving, but it's just really a nice feeling. It feels so nice being able to go out unmasked and feel safe right now. So it's terrific.
To see that number, 0 cases, it felt poignant to me to read that in the paper today. So congratulations.
Yeah, gave me a chill. So I'm glad you brought that up, Heather. It feels great.
Well, Val, now summer is here, so the questions are always going to surround the quarries. And how have things gone so far? And what does the city have planned to help deal with some of the problems we had to deal with last year?
Yeah, well, it's a great question. So we had a very successful Zoom forum in March. In fact, it was March 25th. And the mayor attended, and Ed Conley, our police chief, our assistant CAO, Les Bartlett, historian, and I. And we had a very, very productive conversation about the quarries, challenges. I had done a mini survey, a Google Doc survey, and we presented the data so we get a kind of pulse how people feel about quarry use and how many people live how close. And that was presented. And it was kind of a good kickoff to just giving the mayor and our police chief a real good sense for how the community, the local community, also total Gloucester community, and there were some Rockport residents on it as well, felt about the quarries. So that was a good thing. And then more recently, I actually took a walk 3 weeks ago with my 1-year-old Golden and my husband, and we cruised all the quarries.
I love how you listed the Golden first.
Yeah.
Ready for the 1-year-old husband.
That's what happens when you've been in a pandemic.
Yeah, right.
Been working out of the house, and it's been like, but anyway, so our Golden is lovely, but he's a handful. But we had a very nice. We probably walked 3 or 4 miles. We went around all the quarries and we took a look, and I got a feel for kind of where we were at, and the quarries look pretty good. The most of the major litter issues were not there anymore. There were a couple little spots, but nothing significant. So thank you for folks that go up there from time to time with yellow bags and do some cleaning, and that's really appreciated. The other thing,
there had been a serious graffiti incident early in the season last year. How did that resolve?
We actually did a lot of spray painting. There was a team of about 3 or 4 folks that went out and made mini sets of cleaning packages with spray remover and gloves and water bottles. And there were a good sized group that went up and started scrubbing. And in some cases, depending on where the graffiti was, sometimes just a gray spray paint, the same color of the rocks, had to be used depending on how difficult it was to remove. We always like to remove first, but sometimes it's just not feasible. And also when you remove, you have to use water. And that is a little tricky because we just want to be very clean technically with anything that we do up there. So I think overall, a lot of the big graffiti that was up there is gone now. There's still some spots. It's disappointing. It's pretty overwhelming when you see graffiti, particularly when you've been one of the ones that has been up there scrubbing. And but I think we've made some pretty good progress. And then we worked really hard this spring on a couple of new ordinances. Number one, we worked on an ordinance where we were raising the fines for residents parking only, as well as other fines in the city, excluding downtown sidewalk parking. We did not want to raise fines down there because we want to support our local businesses. So we didn't, so that's still $15. But most of the other fines are now up to 50. And that was passed, which was great. And the other thing is we worked on a new residents only parking ordinance where we've created a lot of the temporary streets from COVID. We've made that now permanent, no parking or parking for residents only from 6 in the morning to 6 at night and tow-away zone. And that's a $50 parking fee. So streets like Vulcan and Andrews and Dooley, Quarry Street, Colburn, the High Street, all of High Street, and also the Hodgkins Cove parking area next to the UMass Marine Center. All residents only, and you know, that's been a little challenge for people, but that was passed, and I would say 95% of the folks that I've heard from are delighted and really supported it all along. And there are a couple hiccups that we have to deal with that we can get into a little later if you'd like, but I think that in itself has been a relief to a lot of the neighbors that felt overwhelmed with the huge amount of visitors that we had. Not that we don't want to share our quarries, but the large groups last summer were really overwhelming. And we added 45 streets in this new grouping throughout the city. And that was a major accomplishment. I had 2 people from Ward 4 that attended the public hearing, and that was all that showed up for a public hearing a couple of weeks ago, but it was nice to have Kevin Hutchinson's from Vulcan Street and Sally Arnold from Langsford Street. Actually, I don't think that's the street that she lives on, but it was good to have them there supporting this. So like I said, there will be hiccups, but that was a good move, I believe. So those are the details. And
how about patrolling? That was an issue last summer too, that the neighborhood felt as if there weren't enough officers patrolling, and particularly the woods.
Yeah.
Has that been addressed?
It's been, I can't say enough about the support from Mayor Taken and also from our police department. For the last several weekends, we've had officers signing up for overtime. And when we get 2 officers, that means that they can hop on. I'd really love to hop on the ATVs, but I'm not allowed to. But the officers get to hop on the ATVs and cruise around. So for the last 2 weekends, we've had a good overtime turnout from the police, and we've had excellent coverage in the quarries, and that's very, very appreciated. What happens is if I contact Assistant Chief Fitzgerald after 8 o'clock on a Friday, he can tell me if there's been coverage and for the weekend signed up coverage. And what I'm able to do is I reach out to my neighborhood watch group of 26 folks that abut the quarries, and I let them know what's happening up in the quarries for the weekend. And that's a good feeling of calm for them to know that there will be police coverage. So that's working really well. And I know that part of that is because of the good communications that we had at that forum in March, where the mayor and police chief came to a Zoom call and listened to about 65 folks and a lot of questions that came in. So it's a team effort, and the neighborhood watch group also plays their role, because they report back. At the end of the weekend, I might call and say, send an email to all of them how to go, and we kind of, typically for the last couple weekends, it's been going pretty well. There've been cars being ticketed. There's been respectful people going up to the quarries, and they feel safe with the police presence. Couple little small things, couple speeding cars one day. We always tell them, always call the police if you feel like your safety is in jeopardy. If you feel someone has been vulgar or scary, driving erratically, dial 283-1212, and always call the police if they feel that there's a safety issue, or the fire department if there's fires up there, fire pits, things like that. So yeah, so a lot of good things happening with that.
So Val, you're running for re-election this year again, right?
I am.
I have a random question. What happens if someone doesn't run for ward councilor? If the seats just open come election day?
Wow.
Because I think a couple of the ward spots are still unresolved.
Huh.
Let's get it out there. Which ones, Corey?
Well, one, I think Scott's running again.
He is.
Two,
Is Barry Pett.
Barry's running again, right?
He has an opponent.
Yep. Three,
I believe there is someone running in Ward 3, at least one person.
someone bailed though on that.
But I still think there might be a
Is there one?
third.
Okay, and then there's you, and then there's Sean.
Right.
Yeah.
Sean is running again.
Okay.
So I think, so I don't know the names of all the other folks that are running. I should know that, but there's still plenty of time left. And I think it's, for a ward council, it's only 75 signatures. So
Yeah, I just didn't know what the protocol was.
yeah, I don't know. I actually, a lot of people don't want to be elected officials right now. So I think, it's kind of a scary time to be an elected official. So
Yeah,
God love
true.
them.
Okay, I have one last question, or I'm going to ask you to clarify, because I know there's been a kerfuffle around the resident versus parking stickers in Gloucester.
Yes.
You want to clear that up?
Sure. So residents only is $5, and it's for 5 years. So you go down to City Hall and you purchase that, and that allows you to go to any residents only parking, with the exception of Good Harbor Beach, Wingashiek, and Stage 4 Park. So it doesn't have to be for your street. It gives you that privilege to go all those places. So, and then the normal beach parking sticker allows you to go to the 3 big beaches, but you can also use that for residents parking only.
Okay.
And if you're over 65 and you get a big beach sticker for the big beaches and all the residents parking, $5 for 5 years. So that's a bargain.
That's a bargain.
Yeah. And can I just say one quick thing before we come to a close, if that's okay?
Sure.
I wanted to let you know that in speaking to the mayor today, she indicated that they're in the final bidding process to look into a park warden for the quarries and Plum Cove Beach. And what this will be is a person that can be physically present and can be the conduit to the police if in the event they feel that things might be getting unruly, which is great.
Great.
And then Police Chief Conley, who we spoke today, and he said that another good thing is happening is that some of his officers are being encouraging about flexing their shifts if they have a partner for the ATVs, where they work a shift that is more conducive to when things might get a little bit busier up in the quarries, like a 3 to 7 o'clock shift instead of the normal shift. So those things are are cooking really well. And I'm really grateful to the partnership with the city, being a ward counselor, and then working closely with the neighbors
Great.
who really love our community. So
That's wonderful news. Any timeline for that park warden? You said the mayor thinks they're close.
I think that they're in the final stages. So I would hope very much that this would happen. I don't want to say, but maybe before the 4th of July. I'm not sure. But she would know better. And I'm sure as soon as it happens, I'll post something on my Ward 4 page. And so things are going well, and we're working together. So
It's great. A lot of great info to share today, Val. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
thank you. I always enjoy being on Studio 1623 with both of you. Thank you so much.
We'll do this in person sometime this summer. How's
Oh,
that?
I can't wait. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.